Hey there everybody, thought I would pull out a game of Inside Pitch. I have not played Inside Pitch in quite a while, so may have a slight learning curve to get back in the groove on that. This is not a project in any way. This is just a one-off, just to bring something different to the channel instead of always doing Stratomatic or History Maker or whatever. Haven't done, like I said, haven't done Inside Pitch in a while, so I thought I'd pull it out. 1984 set. This is actually a replay of the game played June 16th in Oakland between the White Sox and the A's. Both those teams in '84 were, kind of middle of the road, just a little bit below 500. So nothing certainly fantastic about them. Just the two teams I happened to pick out when I went to my tub of 1984 set. And that's just the one I picked out. So that's what I went with. All right, so we are at the Oakland Coliseum. And it is going to cut down strikeouts by 2, and walks are going to go up by 3. So that could certainly be a factor. Your starting pitchers for today's game: Steve McCatty for the A's. He was 8-14 with a 4.76 ERA. And for the White Sox, it'll be Floyd Bannister, 14-11, 4.83 ERA. Let's look at the starting lineups. First for the White Sox, it'll be Rudy Law leading off in center field. Jerry Hairston's the DH. He will hit second. And these are the as-played lineups. Harold Baines is in right field. He will hit third. Batting cleanup is left fielder Ron Kittle. Hitting fifth at first base is Greg Walker. Hitting sixth is third baseman Vance Law. Hitting seventh at shortstop is Jerry Dibzinski. Hitting eighth and catching is Joel Skinner. And batting ninth, playing second base, is Scott Fletcher. So those are the White Sox starting 9. For the A's, leading off will be Rickey Henderson, and you can see his attempt rating is a 9, and stolen base is a 16. So good chance for Rickey to do some running if he gets on. He will lead off and play left field. Dwayne Murphy's in center field. He will hit second. Davey Lopes is at second base tonight, and he is batting third. Dave Kingman, the DH, will bat cleanup. Hitting fifth is Carney Lansford at third base. Bruce Bochy is at first base. He will hit sixth. Batting seventh and catching is Jim Essien. Hitting eighth at right field is Mike Davis. And batting ninth, playing shortstop, is Tony Phillips. So we are all set. And we'll put the ballpark card on top of the pitcher who is not pitching so that there's no confusion there. And we're going to have Rudy Law. And just for Uncle Ron, if he happens to be tuning in, the reason why I picked this game is because I went to see who the active rosters were at this particular point in time. And there's one fella who didn't get a whole lot of playing time but was on the White Sox during this game. In fact, I believe he pinch hit in this game in real life, and that is none other than Steve Christmas, the very Steve Christmas that has become an icon in Uncle Ron's videos, at least for pun purposes, and forever linked to Bobby Grich. All right, so now we are ready to go. I tried something a little different. I took my little the little box that I had the camera stand on and just went without it, so the camera stand is strictly on the table. So hopefully you can see the cards maybe a little bit better. Not so much of an overhead view, more of a straight ahead view. So don't know if that's going to work. We'll see. And now to get going here, let me make sure I don't mess anything up. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll a red, white, and a D20. And of course, first thing we're going to check is the pitcher. The pitcher always gets the first opportunity. So obviously the red die is going to tell me what column, and the white die is going to tell me what row on the pitcher card. And then if it's not resolved on the pitcher card, we go to the batter card. So here we go. We roll the D20 every time just in case. And it's Rudy Law, 4-4. So we go to McCatty's card, and a 4-4 is an S1 in parentheses. The parentheses is only if the pitcher is tired. Obviously we just started the game, so he's not tired. So no singles. So since we don't get the result off the pitcher card, we go to the batter card. Get that final result. The 2-4. 2-4 is a ground ball to first. So McCatty gets the speedy Rudy Law to ground out to Bhakti, one away. Here's Jerry Hairston, the DH. 6-3. 6-3 is a range play, so we got a range play on Jerry Hairston's at bat. Let's see who's checking the range. 4-5. 4-5 is a star line 5, which up here is a fly to left. So we're checking the range of Rickey Henderson, and his range is a 3. We're going to roll this blue die and see if we get a 3 or less. We do, so that means Rickey Henderson makes the play. So Rickey went and got it down in the corner. 2 down for Harold Baines. 2-5. 2-5. And this is interesting. This is where the left-right splits come in. Had McCaddy been facing a right-hander, we'd be checking a strikeout. So a little bit better here, hopefully. On that 2-5, if he was facing a righty, we'd be checking a strikeout. But since Baines is a lefty, we're doing a home run check. And the home run check against left-handers, let's see, no, actually go straight, there is no question mark, so go straight to the home run on Harold Baines. We get an 8, and his home run against right-handers is a 16. 8 falls within that, so it is a home run. These only come up when it's a home run question mark, but straight home run, it is a home run for Harold Baines. So he takes McCaddy deep, and the Sox lead it 1-0. Here's Ron Kittle. 5-6, and it's another home run check. Look at this. And Kittle's a 20, so he's going to blast it. He hit 32 home runs on the year. So McCaddy, unfortunately, I believe it says he gave up 24 home runs on the season. So, although I didn't verify that, I'm not sure if that's exactly what that means. But he's given up 2 back-to-back. They want to try to avoid the 2-5 and the 5-6 results. That's going to be his trouble. Here's Greg Walker, at least to the power hitters anyway. 6-4 is blank. So when it's blank, you go to the batter card to finish the at-bat. 1-2, that's a star line 5. Compared to our star line, number 5 is a fly to left. So Rickey didn't lose that number or the fly to the ball and made the catch. The end of a half an inning, it is the White Sox 2 and the A's coming to bat. So they got on McCaddy pretty good there. And now Floyd Bannister steps in for the White Sox. Let's put him over here. Probably a little easier to see everything. Make sure we got both cards in play. All right, so Rickey Henderson looking to try to get on and steal. 3-6 on the Bannister's card is a range play. So we're checking the range play. 4-2. 4-2 is a fly to center, so we're checking the range of the center fielder for the Sox, and that's Rudy Law. He's only a 2 on his range, so this very well could drop in. And it does, and since it's a 5, when you do a failed range play, the failed range play on the outfield, if it's a failed range play, we're going to roll again to see if it's a single or a double. So if we roll a 5 or a 6 again, it'll be a double. It's only a single, but that puts Rickey on. And when Rickey's on, Rickey's happy. And when Rickey's not happy, nobody else is happy. So Rickey's going to try to attempt to get that jump. And we do that with the D20 on the what they call the strategy roll. That's a 15, so he could not get the jump. So Rickey will not go this time. There's Dwayne Murphy. 3-5. 3-5 is a strikeout chance. Murphy against left-handers strikes out at a 15. -2 from the ballpark to 13. That's an 18, so there's no strikeout. So since he didn't strike out on the pitcher card, let's go to the batter card. 3-6. And it's a split chance with the left-righty splits. Facing a lefty, he's actually a little bit better against lefties apparently, because he's going to single past second base. If he was a right-hander, he'd ground to second, but instead he's going to single to second, or single past second for a base hit. And now we're going to check runner advancement, see if Rickey Henderson can get to third. Well, Rickey, his BR rating is a 4. And on our chart, S4, to get from first to third, if you're a 3 through 6, you make it. So Rickey, with his speed, is going to trot on to third base. So runners are at the corners, nobody out. Roll the strategy roll again because his attempt is a 1. And nothing happening there. So now we got Davey Lopes stepping to the plate. Lopes, a 4-6. That's another range check, range play. 3-5. 3-5 is a single pass to shortstop. So that's going to score Ricky. Don't know if Murphy will get to third since it went to the left side of the infield. We'll go to our chart again. And Murphy has a BR rating of 3. So an S6. You got to have a 5 through 6 to go to third base. He does not have that, so he will stay put. Runs at first and second. Still nobody out. And that'll bring up Dave Kingman. And I'm only going to roll strategy rolls if somebody's on first and there's a chance to steal. I'm not going to do it every time. I think those kind of bog the game down a little bit. 6-3 is a strikeout chance. He strikes out against lefties. Kingman does at an 18 clip. That's a -2, makes it 16, but that's an 8. So Kingman, one of the big whiffers in baseball history, will whiff again. All right, here's Carney Lansford. 3-3, and that is a strikeout chance because the W would be if he's tired. He's not tired. Strikeout chance, his strikeouts are an 8, -2 is a 6, but that's a 1. So Carney Lansford doesn't strike out often, but he struck out there. And there's quickly 2 away after several hits in a row. Here's Bruce Bhakti. 2-4. And that is a walk plus, which means we're going to add 10 to whatever the walk number is on the batter. So in this case, against lefties, Bhakti only walks at a 5, but we're going to add 10 to make it a 15. Plus we're going to add 3 from the stadium, make it an 18. So that's a 5, so Bhakti will walk. And what that'll do is load the bases. So the bases are now loaded. 2 outs for Jim Essien. Might remember him as the catcher on the 77 White Sox replay. 1-3 is a potentially another walk. His walks are a 22, so he's obviously going to walk here. +3 is a 25, so he's going to walk for sure. And that's going to force a run home, and we are tied at 2 apiece as Bannister walks Essien to force a run in. Bases are still loaded with 2 outs for number 8 hitter Mike Davis. But Bannister having trouble finding the zone. 2-5, he got a strikeout chance here though. Strikeout's a 14, -2 is a 12, but that's a 6. So it is a strikeout. So he walked. He gave up 3 hits, walked 2, and struck out the side. Kind of a schizophrenic inning there, but when the dust settles, it's a 2-2 tie. And we go to the second inning, hoping for a little better pitching, or this game can take a very long time to play. So coming up now will be McCaddy. He will be in there to face Vance Law. McCaddy, trying to avoid those home run results. Now 2-2 would be a walk plus if he's facing a lefty, but since Law's a righty, it's a blank. So we go to Vance Law's card. 1-6 is a single pass to center field, S8. So it's a single for Vance Law. He's aboard. His attempt is a 1, so we'll roll it just to see if anything happens. It does not. So Law will not go anywhere. Here's Dibzinski. 1-1 is a strikeout chance. This is an 18, so it's a good chance to get a strikeout, or actually not a good chance because it's so high. That's a 7, -2 is a 5, 18 is way above that, so Dibzinski not going to strike out. 1-2 is a star line 2, which is a ground ball to third, potential double play. So the double play rating on Dibzinski is a 1. McCaddy does not change that, so still a 1. The ground ball went to third, so that means second baseman is the pivot. Lopes is a 0 on a pivot. So the only way to get a double play is to roll a 1. So if this is a 1, it's a double play. It's a 3, so it's not a double play. Now the runner on first, on first is Vance Law. His BR is a 2. 3 is higher than that, so we get a fielder's choice. He will not get to second. So that is a 5-4 fielder's choice. And somebody can correct me. I'm not sure. I think the rule is it's a fielder's choice if this die rating is higher than the BR rating. Some people played, or sometimes I thought it was, if it's a 6, you get the the runner gets to second. If it's not a double play, then anything else would be a force play unless it was a 6. So, that's where the things can be a little bit dicey sometimes, so to speak. Let's see here. Let's just look at what the chart says and clear it up. On first, less than 2 outs to ground out. Roll is greater than or equal to the ground ball double play, then it's a double play. It was not because it's a 1. Roll is greater than runner on first base BR than force at second. So that's what it was. It has to be greater than the runner on first BR. So otherwise, the runner will advance. Roll of 6 on any play is on batter at first only. So that just means you roll 6, no matter how slow the runner is, he's going to get to second base. But in this case, the BR rating determined it was a force play. So hopefully I did that correctly. Here's Joel Leonard Skinner. Runner at first and 1 out, 5-6. And when he found his home run spot again, which is not good, but he picked a good person to do it to because Skinner's a 0. So no home run. Skinner, a 4-6. He's going to fly to left. So that's out number 2. And like I said, with inside pitch, with the exception of some of the tricky runner advancement things, the game plays extremely well and extremely fluid and realistic. It's just some of these sophisticated running things and runner advancement can be a little tricky. 1-6 is a blank for McCaddy. We go to Fletcher. 3-4 for Fletcher, and that is a ground ball to short. And we would check for a double play possibility, but that's the 3rd out, so it's going to go to first. The easy way to get the out. So that time McCaddy did a little bit better for himself. Kept the ball in the ballpark. Oops, the wrong Fletcher's score was, or at bat was here, not up there. So let me fix that. Got ahead of myself. Rudy Law did not bat. He will lead off the 3rd. Not sure what I was thinking there, but anyway, good thing that's what they invented whiteout for, right? All right, so now Tony Phillips. Tony Phillips steps in. Switch hitter against Bannister will bat right-handed. 6-4, and 6-4 is a strikeout chance. His strikeouts against lefties is only an 8, -2 is a 6. That's a 19, no strikeout. Go to Phillips' card to finish the at-bat, 5-1. It's a star line 2, rather, which is a ground ball to 3rd. So 1 away. Handled by Vance Law. Brings up Ricky Henderson. 3-5. 3-5 is a strikeout chance. And with that being a 1, it's going to be a strikeout. So Ricky down on strikes. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Dwayne Murphy. 1-1. That is blank. So we go to Murphy's card. 3-6. And again, it's a split chance. And against a lefty, it's a single. I believe he had this exact roll last time. In fact, I know he did, because Ricky went to 3rd on that. This is just a single. So Murphy found that same roll, 3-6 twice. Now the temp rating is a 1, so we'll just double check it. It's a 3, and I think that's a hit and run, but with 2 outs, I don't think hit and run really comes into play, so I'm going to skip that and just play it straight up with Davey Lopes. 6-5, at least, for me it doesn't come into play when there's 2 outs. 6-5 is a possible wild pitch. Now that could come into play. Wild pitch rating is 1 to 9. This is a 9, so Bannister is going to uncork a wild pitch. And that will move Murphy to 2nd. Here's Lopes. 3-4. 3-4 is a home run chance. Straight up home run chance. Lopes against a lefty is a 16. That's a 13. Davey Lopes just connected on a 2-run homer. So with 2 outs and nobody on, what seemed like a harmless single by Murphy has turned into a 2-run lead for the A's thanks to Davey Lopes' 2-run homer. It's a 4-2 game. Here's Kingman. 6-4 is a strikeout chance, and Kingman's going to strike out most likely. 18, well, maybe not. 18 -2 is a 16. This is a 17, so the ballpark kept him from striking out. Finish the bat on Kingman's card. 5-2 is a star line 4, which is the ground out to 1st. So the inning is over, but the A's again score 2 runs. And we go to the third. It is a 4-2 Oakland lead. And that'll bring up Rudy Law, top of the order for the Sox. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this in a premiere or whether I'm just going to record it and upload it. But if I happen to do it as a premiere and anybody wants to comment, of course I'll be there watching it, of course, and making comments myself. But if you see me do anything that's incorrect on the gameplay, I won't take offense if you tell me, hey, you know, you really should have done this or you should have done that. Because when you don't play these games that often, it's very easy to lose some of the finer points. Here's Rudy Law. Hopefully I won't make any glaring errors, though. 6-5 is a range play at the ballpark. That little at sign means we're going to the ballpark. So we're doing a range play on Oakland Coliseum. So range play, Oakland Coliseum. We get a 6-5, and that is a star line 1. So we go back to McCaddy. Star line 1 is a ground out to second. So the range is on Lopes. He's a 2. 1 or 2, he makes the play. He does not. It's a failed range play on a ground ball to second. Failed range play. And it's just a single. There's no chance of any kind of extra bases. It's just a single for Rudy Law. Now he is a threat to steal. He's got an attempt rating of 7. So we could certainly get the jump, but he does not. So Rudy Law will stay put. Here's Jerry Hairston. 6-4 from McCaddy is a blank. So we're going to Hairston's card. 6-3, and that's a single to right field. So now Rudy Law has a good chance to go to third. Let's check the runner advancement. Rudy Law is a BR4. Every time I see that, just had a flashback. Every time I see the 3 letters BR4, I want to put a 5-9 behind it, like Junior Samples, but I digress. All right, so base hit. We'll see if he goes from first to third. Single to right to go from first to third. You add 2 to the BR rating. So 2 to the BR rating of 4 gives him a 6, which means he's going to get there automatically. I don't see any way to stop it. Right fielder, I don't even know if the right fielder comes into play. Baines, he's a 0, so he's going to make it without a throw because it's a 6. So I'm sorry, the right fielder is Davis. He's a -2, so that holds the phone. That could very well do that. I'm trying to remember. I think you use the outfielder arm when you get to this point. And that's where these charts come in, and it gets a little tricky with that as well. So it's a 2. You add 2, but then the -2 from Davis, so it kind of, you know, washes out. So now it's a BR4. So if you roll a 4 or less, he will make it. And we do. So he does make it. Hopefully I did that correctly. I'm not worried about the batter trying to get second. That's just getting too complicated for me at that point. I'm just going to go for the simple. He made it. All right, runners at the corners. Here's Harold Baines. And Hairston's attempt of 1. So we'll see if he does anything. I doubt it. He does not. So here's Baines. Double play depth for the infield. Potential error on a grounder on a 6-6. So we're going to check and see if there is a ground ball or not. We get a 6-6 again. It's a fly to left, so there's no error chance because there's no ground ball. It's a fly to left, but it's a chance for a sacrifice fly. Harold Baines is a 2 on the sacrifice fly rating. And if we come over here to sacrifice fly, it says here, roll 1d6. If less than the sacrifice fly rating of the batter, the runner scores otherwise. Wait a minute. Then runner scores. Otherwise, a failed sacrifice fly roll and use the throw chart. So then we're going to go to the throw chart, so which is, I believe, up here. So we're going to check and see if the sacrifice fly will be good initially. It has to be a 1 or a 2 because that's the sacrifice fly rating of Baines. It's a 2, so it is a good sacrifice. Don't have to go to the other chart. It is a good sacrifice. So Baines gets the RBI. Hairston will stay at first. So there's 1 away and 1 run in. We'll roll the strategy chart again for Hairston. He did not go anywhere. Here's Kittle. Kittle is 6-1, is a potential wild pitch, and with that being a 1, That's going to be a wild pitch because his wild pitch rating is 1-9. So Hairston will shimmy over to second base. Gets into scoring position. Here's Ron Kittle still up there. 1-1. Strikeout chance. And he's a 21. Even though the -2 makes it a 19. That's a 5. So Kittle down on strikes for out number 2. It's up to Greg Walker. Walker, 1-2. Potential walk. And against a lefty, it's a 6, but it's a +3 in Oakland, makes it a 9, so that ballpark is going to give him a walk. So that puts runners at first and second now for Vance Law. 2 down. 1-4 is a walk plus. That's an 18. Since he's a 10, walk plus makes him a 20. And the stadium makes him a 23, so it's another walk. And that's going to load the bases with 2 outs. And here's Jerry Dibzinski. 6-3 is a range play on McCaddy. Go to finish the at-bat on Dibzinski. It's a ground ball to short. So we're checking the range of the shortstop Phillips. He's a 3. Big play here. Phillips needs to make this play to avoid more runs. And he does, barely. That's all that matters. So he made the play and keeps the score. Keeps Chicago from scoring any more than 1, so the Oakland still has the lead 4-3. But you can see we've already up to 26 minutes in this video because of all the scoring, and we're just in the bottom of the 3rd. All right, here's Carney Lansford. Lansford, a 1-2 on Bannister is a walk chance, but that's way too much. It's only a 4 +3 is a 7. That's an 18. No walk. 5-4 for Lansford. 5-4 is a star line 4, which is a ground ball to first. So 1 away. And that will send us to Bruce Bochy, lefty on lefty matchup. 1-5 is a @ sign, which means we're going to Oakland Coliseum. Let's see what we get from that. We get a 5-5, and that's a star line 5. Fly to left. So 2 down. And I really like how these cards are nice and colorful. I think it's definitely worth the few extra bucks to get the color version. Just seems to add things to it and makes the game kind of stand out a little bit, at least in my opinion. 6-5 for Essien. It's a wild pitch, but nobody's on base, so it's considered a foul ball. Go back off Bannister's card. 3-4. 3-4 is a home run check. Not a good one. Not a good one for Bannister. Essien against a lefty is only a 6, though, so the 9 is out of range, so he will not give up the homer. Essien only had 2 on the season, so now we finish it off on Essien's card. 3-5. 3-5 is a star line 4, and that's a ground ball to first. So the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down. Finally got some decent pitching that inning out of Bannister. Score remains 4-3. We go to the 4th. And Joel Skinner will lead off against McCaddy. 3-5. 3-5 is a blank, so we're going to Skinner's card. 2-4. 2-4 is a single pass third, so base hit for Joel Leonard Skinner. His attempt is a 1. He had 1 stolen base all year, so we will roll for it just in case nothing happens. If you get a 20, that's a chance for a pickoff, so that's 19 almost had that, but not quite. Fletcher, 6-6 is a possible error if there's a ground ball. On Fletcher's card, 6-5. It's a single pass short, so no ground ball. That's going to be considered as kind of like a line drive. So it's a single pass short, and that will put runners at first and second. No way on the single pass short that Skinner was going to go to third. He has to have a 5 or a 6. And his BR is a 1, so he's not going anywhere. But they certainly are threatening. Here's Rudy Law, 4-4. Not tired yet, so there's no single. So go to Law's card. 2-6 for Law. It's a star line 4. It's a ground ball to first. Could be a double play. He's a 2. The shortstop pivot is a 0. So it has to be a 1 or a 2. It's a 1, so it is a double play. How about that? 3-6-3. They get the speedy law on the 3-6-3. Nicely turned by Bhakti and Phillips. Sounds like a singing group, Bhakti and Phillips. So 2 down with the runner moving to third is Joel Skinner. And now 2 away, here's Hairston. 5-4, blank from a caddy. Go to Hairston. 1-1, he's going to fly to left. And McCaddy living on the edge, but so far hanging on. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 4-3. Favor of the A's. Mike Davis will lead off against Bannister, lefty on lefty. 6-5, wild pitch, but it's a foul ball because nobody's on. 4-6 is a range play. There's Davis. 2-3 is a ground ball to second, so we're checking the range of the second baseman. And that is Fletcher. He's a 4, so good range, above average range. And he makes the play. So nice play by Fletcher, 1 away for Tony Phillips. 2-5, strikeout chance, but against a left-hander only 8. Against a right-hander it's 18, but against the left-hander it's only 8. -2 is a 6, that's a 17, no strikeout. It's Phillips, 1-4, ground, it's a star line 3, which is a ground ball to short. 2 down, back to the top of the order for Ricky. 3-2, 3-2 is a blank. If he's lefty, it'd be a walk plus, but here it's a blank. So Ricky will go to his card. Get a 6-3, it's a pop up to short. So Ricky pops to Dibzinski, and the inning is over. So Bannister settling in, 2 consecutive scoreless innings now to get that done. We go to the 5th, still 4-3, favor of the Oakland A's. All right, Harold Baines leads things off. Baines, 4-4. Not tired, of course, because he can face 26 batters before he gets tired, and he's only faced 20, so no fatigue there. Go to Baines' card, 5-1. It's a single past second. So Baines, 2 for 3, and he has no attempt, so he's don't need the strategy roll for that. Kittle, 1-1, strikeout chance. It's a 10. Kittle's a 21, even though the -2 from the stadium, it's only a 19, so Kittle, feast or famine. He's got a homer and 2 strikeouts. So 1 away for Greg Walker. Greg Walker. 6-2 for Walker. Home run question mark. The blue die is a 13. So against a lefty, it has to be a 1-4 to be a home run chance. So it's not going to be a home run chance. We go to Walker's. It's a good thing because Walker had a 20 here. So Walker will not homer. Instead, we'll go to Walker's card to finish the at-bat. 6-5. He's going to ground to third. Chance for a double play. It's a 2 rating there for the double play. And I believe everything else will be a 0 because Lopes is a 0 on the pivot. So a 1 or 2 is a double play. It's a 6. So that means the runner is going to advance. So it's just a 4-3 grounder. And Baines will scoot over to second base. Must have been a deep one in the hole between first and second. And Lopes, the only play was to first. So now I'll bring up Vance Law. 3-3. Blank from a caddy. Go to Law's card. 1-6 is a single to center. That should produce a run because Baines runs pretty well. Baines is, well, I'll take that back. His BR is only a 2. But there's 2 outs, so we'll get a boost. So we check the runner advancement chart on an S8 to go from second to home. You get a +2 boost. So that means that Baines will now be a 4. And the center fielder arm, Murphy's though is a -2, so that's going to negate that and make it simply a 2. So a 1-2, but then you also add 1 because there are 2 outs. That makes it a 1-3. So he's going to end up with a total BR of 3. So let's see if he can score. He cannot. So since he failed on that, we're going to go over to here. So, for all is less than or equal to the BR, then runner advances, otherwise they hold. So they're going to hold. So that means since it wasn't less than that, it means he held. So Baines had to hold. Even though there were 2 outs, he still couldn't score. Murphy had the good arm. So runners are at the corners. Now, Law does have a 1 attempt rating, so we'll roll for it. Nothing happening. And here's Dibzinski. McCaddy's still living dangerously. 4-6 is a potential walk. It's a 14, plus 3 is a 17, and so he will walk, and that will load the bases. McCaddy just about at his fatigue range now because he has faced 26 batters. So he will now be fatigued. So if he happens to find this roll right here, that will turn into a single. Otherwise, fatigue is not going to be a factor. Here's Skinner. 1-5 is blank for McCaddy. Skinner. 6-2. He's going to ground to second, and by golly, McCaddy gets out of it again. White Sox are leaving loads of people on base. So McCaddy finishes 5 innings. It might be as far as they dare to use him. We'll see. I don't know. He went 179 innings, so I think he'll at least go 6 innings. He'll just have to meander around that 1 tired result. So now we go to the bottom of the 5th. Now Bannister's a 28. He's only faced 19 batters, so he's good to go. Here's Murphy. 5-6. And that's a home run chance against the lefty. Straight home run chance. Murphy's a 16, and that's a 6, so it's gone. Dwayne Murphy, 3 for 3 now, including a homer. And the A's increased the lead to 5-3. And now the Chicago bullpen starting to move around a little bit. Davey Lopes, 2-4, is a walk plus, so he will walk. No question about it. That walk plus, he will walk. He's an attempt of 4, so let's see if he does anything. It's a 5, so that means it's a hit and run. So when you do the strategy roll, a hit and run is +2 from the attempt plus hold rating. So Bannister's hold rating, actually I should have been checking this, was a -1, which makes Lopes a 3, but the 5 was within 2 of that, so it is a hit and run. So we're going to roll the regular play and then treat it as a hit and run. That's actually Kingman's at bat, my bad. So Kingman, 6-5, potential wild pitch, but it's a 20, so there's no wild pitch. So pitch to Kingman again, 5-4. Potential error on a throw. 2-3. Starline 6 is a fly to center, so there is no throw. And the runner will just have to retreat back to his bag. So Lopes will go back to first. 1 away. Lopes again. His attempt rating is a 4, but -1 from Bannister's hold. Makes him a 3, so we'll roll on strategy chart for the 3. This time nothing's going to happen. Lansford, 2-4. And it's another walk plus, but this is a 20, so he will not walk this time. So Lansford, no walk. 6-2 is a question mark 8. And against a left-hander, the question mark 8 comes up here. The roll is a 15, and 15 falls in this category, so it's a triple for Carney Lansford. So Carney Lansford, a RBI triple, and Bannister's just about done. I think they'll let him pitch to Bhakti, and that's about it. So another run is in. And the infield is going to have to come in. Here's Bhakti. 3-6 is a range play. 3-5. A liner to third. So let's check the range of Vance Law. He's only a 2. So he may very well miss this. And he does. So it's a failed range play. That's going to be another run as Bhakti goes the opposite way for a base hit. And a L5. We do have to see if it's a single or a double. If we get a 5 or a 6, it's a double. And it is, so it's a double. So Bhakti laced it into the corner in left field for a double, and that's all for Mr. Bannister. His night is done. He is done. And the White Sox will go to their bullpen. So bullpen time for the Sox. And they'll go get Gene Full Nelson. And he will try to wrestle himself out of this bad situation. Runner is now at second with 1 out. And the batter is Jim Essien. A's lead it now 7-3. 5-1 is a strikeout chance, but that's a 20, so no strikeout. Essien 2-6 is a double to left field. Look at that, D7. That is a double to left, so Essien greets Nelson with a double. It is now 8-3 in favor of the A's. And that's going to bring up Mike Davis. Davis 4-5 against Nelson is a star line. So we need to roll and see what the star line is. It's a 1, so it's a ground ball to second. And that will get the runner to third with 2 outs. So Davis grounds out 4-3. Runner goes to third, 2 outs. Here's Tony Phillips. 6-1 is blank for Nelson. We'll go to Phillips. 1-4. Star line 3. It's a ground ball to third. Innings over, but a profitable one for the A's. They now lead it 8-3. That 4-run 5th inning. All those runs charged to Bannister. So Phillips and company sent 8 men to the plate. So now McCaddy, with this big lead, is going to come back out and pitch at least 1 more inning, even though he's tired. Going to face Scott Fletcher. 1-6 is blank for McCaddy, so go to Fletcher's card. 4-3. That's a single to center. So hits continue. Now the A's bullpen definitely working overtime. Here's Rudy Law. They're not going to do a strategy roll when the score gets this far apart, this late in the game. 1-4 is a walk plus, and that's going to be another walk. So McCaddy is done. He's going to go 5+, but that's it. They don't want to let the White Sox back in the game. They don't want to give them any hope. So we'll bring in a lefty to face Rudy Law, and it will be left-hander Tom Bergmeyer. So Tom Bergmeyer is on, the left-hander. McCaddy did go his 5 innings, so he will qualify for the win, assuming the A's do not lose the lead. So 2 on, nobody out. Here's actually Harrison's at bat now. Switch hitter, followed by lefty Baines. 5-4, potential error if there's a throw necessary. 4-4, star line 1, fly to left, no throw necessary, so no error. As Ricky hauls it in, here's Harold Baines. He's had a good day. Homer, sacrifice fly, and a single. 2-4, and he's got a chance for a strikeout, but not against the lefty. He's only an 8 there. -2 is a 6. That's a 17. So Baines, 6-4, single to the center field for Baines. So now we'll see if the run will score. Rudy Law runs really well. He's a 4 BR rating. And to go from second to home is a +2, gives him a 6, but then it's a -2 from Davis's arm. So that makes it a net of 4. Let's see if he will get there. He does not. He has to hold. And actually, since it's a 6, he will not hold. We're going to go to our second throw chart. If it had been a 5 or less, he would just hold. But since it's a 6, we go to the second chart. So this is the roll of 6 on throw chart. So right over here, I'm going to roll again. It's a 1, lead runner advances, ball cut off, and the trailing runner is thrown out. 2-5, the lead runner is thrown out, but if the trailing runner's BR adjustment is greater or equal to the roll, then he advances. If it's 6, lead runner advances, ball cut off, trailing runner is caught in a rundown. So if we roll a 6, it'll be a rundown. No rundown, it's a 3. So we come right here, lead runner is out, so that means he is out. So the lead runner in this case, actually it wasn't Law, it was Fletcher. So Fletcher was the one, and his BR rating was a 3, so he would have been the same boat. So Fletcher is out because he went to second on the Law base on balls. but he is out 8-2 on the throw from the center fielder, Murphy. And now let's check the other runners. The trail running's BR is greater than or equal to the roll. So Law's BR is a 4, which is greater than this 3. So that means Law is going to go to third base. He's going to take third on the throw. He got the second on the single, took third on the throw. Bain's BR rating is a 2, so he's going to have to hold. So hopefully I did that correctly. If I didn't, I probably didn't. Somebody please let me know the error of my ways, and we'll work it out. So here's Harold Baines. 2 outs now for Kittle. 2-4. 2-4 for Bergmeyer. Potential strikeout, but again, Kittle against the lefty is a 15, -2 to 13. That's a 15, no strikeout. Kittle, 6-1. He'll fly to right instead, and the inning is over. So the score sheet looking ugly on both sides of the fence. Go to the bottom of the 6th. It is still 8-3. As Fletcher got thrown out down by 5 runs, you'd think he wouldn't take the chance, but that 6 roll came up and it cost him. So here's Ricky, top of the order. And with the score being what it is, we're not going to do any strategy rolls or any steals or anything because of the 5-run deficit with less than 4 innings to play. So 3-2 for Nelson is a potential walk. Ricky is always good at walking. It's a 21, +3 is a 24. So surefire walk for Ricky. But again, he will not steal due to the score of the game. So now that'll bring up Dwayne Murphy. Murphy, a 3-2. It's a walk chance. That's a 19 though, so he will not walk. Check that, he will walk. That's a 19. I said it was a 19, right? 19. Murphy walks at a 16 +3 from the stadium. That does make it a 19, so he will walk. How about that? He has reached base all 4 times. Here's Davey Lopes. 4-2. And I guess a right-hander is a home run chance. And Lopes' home run chance is an 8. That's a 6. That's a 3-run homer for Lopes, his 2nd home run of the game. This is a 3-run shot. And Oakland has totally blown this thing wide open if it wasn't already. It is now 11-3. And Nelson is looking for relief. But he's going to have to face one more batter, at least, Dave Kingman. 3-3. And that is a range play. 4-4. Starline 1 is a ground ball to second. The range is being checked on Fletcher. He's a 4. That's 6. Go figure. I think they're so disinterested they couldn't get to the range play. I think he was daydreaming out there and couldn't quite get it. So here's Lansford. 1-3. That is a blank. 2-2. That's a ground ball to third since he's facing a righty. So chance for a double play. He's got a DP of 2. Fletcher has no pivot rating, so it's just a 1 or a 2. Oh, and Nelson's a +1, so that makes it a 3. So 1, 2, or 3 is a double play, and it does get the double play. So this time around, it is a 5-4-3 double play. Much needed. And maybe Nelson can finish the inning now, facing Bruce Bhakti. 5-1 is a strikeout chance. I don't know if he's tired. He gets to face 8 batters. And he's faced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, he is tired. This is his 9th batter, so I guess he would be tired. That means it's a walk chance. Bhakti is a 12, so he will walk. So, trying to get him through the inning, but he found one of his fatigue checks. 4-6. 4-6 is a home run question mark. That's a 1, but against a right-hander, it's a 0, so no home run chance. There's Essien. 5-3. Single pass short. So, base hit. Bhakti's going to stay where he is. And Mike Davis, the batter, and that's going to be it for Gene Nelson. They tried to get him through the inning, but just did not work out. So they will bring in a relief pitcher. And it'll be Juan Augusto, the left-hander. Facing the left-hander Mike Davis. So Juan Augusto coming in. Facing Mike Davis, a 5-2. He's not tired, so we skip that. We go straight to Mike Davis's card. 5-2 is a star line 2. It's a ground ball to third. Inning is finally over. But 3 runs come in. It is now 11-3 as we go to the 7th inning. 11-3, and now I think some of the teams are going to make some changes, not only in pitching staff but in position players as well, to give some people some backup, some chances to play. And one of the moves that's going to be made is Joel Skinner is going to be removed, and just for you, Uncle Ron, Steve Christmas is going to come on and catch. So he will get in at bat in this game, obviously. May not be this inning, but it certainly will be next inning. Actually, he's the 4th scheduled hitter, so he might get at bat this inning. But Christmas is in, and Bergmeyer is done. Let's check Bergmeyer. He went 1 inning, and he's kind of a 1 inning guy, so you're not going to stretch him out too far. And they will bring in Keith. They're going to use Keith Atherton. So Keith Atherton will be coming on. 3rd pitcher for the A's. Keith Atherton. He'll be facing Walker, Law, and Dibzinski. 4-6. 4-6 is a strikeout chance. Strikeout against a righty is a 10. -2 is an 8, but this is a 7, so Walker will strike out. Brings up Vance Law. 1-6. Strikeout chance against a righty. Strikes out at a 10. -2 is an 8. That's a 9. No strikeout. Law, 5-6. On his card is a liner to short. 2 down. Brings up Dibzinski. 4-6 off of Atherton is a strikeout chance. So that's a 7. That's an 11, so it's not going to work. Dibzinski, 2-5. He'll ground back to Atherton. And the inning is over. So perfect 7th pitched by Atherton. 7th inning stretch time, and I probably need to stretch. I've been sitting here for almost an hour, it seems like, with the plethora of runs being scored by the A's. And now we get a new pitcher for the White Sox. It'll be Ron Reed. So Ron Reed will come on. As again, Augusto is kind of one of those situational guys that doesn't pitch very much. And Phillips, the shortstop, but he might be called back. They may want to bring in another player and get him some chances. So Mark Wagner is going to come on. Mark Wagner. He will take over at the shortstop position for Mr. Phillips. And he's a better shortstop. He's a 4E14 instead of a 3E13. So Wagner will be the shortstop. And he'll get an at-bat here against Ron Reed. Righty on righty. 4-6. Not that it matters in this kind of game. Potential error. Wagner, 2-4. Fly to right. So we're checking the right fielder for an error. And that's a 1. So since this is a 1, that'll be an error on Baines. His E rating is a 4, but this is a 1. So that means it'll be an error. So let's do a failed error check on Baines. Doesn't have that many errors, but a failed error check on the outfield. Fly out is a boot ball, one base error, it says. So just a 1 base chance for Wagner on the E9. He'll be aboard. Here's Ricky. He's going to get one more chance. 4-4. Error on the throw, possibly. 1-2 is a ground ball to short. So potential double play, but also potential throwing error. The error rating of the shortstop is Dibzinski. He's a 7. That's a 16. So there will not be an error because 16 is greater than the 7. So now we're going to switch and look for a double play possibility. It's a 2. 0 there keeps it a 2. The second baseman, Fletcher, does not have a divot, so it's a 1-2 for a Ricky Henderson double play, and it is, so a rare Ricky Henderson double play. I don't think he ran it out very hard. So that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. I think Ricky kind of lollygagged on that one. And in fact, the manager is going to take Ricky out now and bring in a new left fielder. It's going to be Gary Hancock. So Gary Hancock's going to be the new left fielder coming in for Ricky going forward. Gary Hancock. He will take over. And his defensively is a 2-0-0. Alright, so he can't make an error. He's not as good at range, but he can't make an error. Alright, here's Dwayne Murphy. 2 out spaces empty. 6-2, strikeout chance. Strikes out at a 12. -2 is a 10, so the 15 is not going to fall in that category. 6-3, star line 5. That's a fly to left. So the inning is over. We go to the 8th. And Ron, Mr. Retro Sports Network, this Bud's for you, or this Christmas is for you. And we're going to get a new pitch. Well, actually, no, Atherton's going to stay in there because he went 3 up, 3 down last time. So Atherton's going to stay in the game and face Steve Christmas. So here we go. Christmas. You don't have to wait till Christmas to see him bat. Here he is. 1-6. Can he get the base hit? It's a split chance. If he was right-handed, it'd be a strikeout, but left-handed, which he is, it's a blank. So we'll go to Christmas's card. So how about that? We get a Christmas card here in May. 3-2. Ah, he just missed a double. 3-1 would have been a double. 3-2 is a star line 6. It's going to fly to right. So Christmas didn't quite have it. Here's Fletcher. 6-2. That's a home run chance off of Atherton. But he's only a 2, that's a 17, so no home run. Fletcher finishes it out. He does single past Atherton, so he sneaks it past the pitcher Atherton for a single. That'll bring up Rudy Law. 2-2 is blank for Atherton. Law. 4-6 is a fly to right, and that's out number 2. And obviously these games go much quicker when you have better pitching. I probably should not have picked 2 teams this bad with pitching this bad, but that's what I chose. So get to see it in its best and its worst light. 2-4. Error on a ground out, possibly. 5-1. Oh, it's a fly to center, so there is no ground out, so there is no error. And Atherton pitches 2 innings of shutout relief. How about that? So we go to the bottom of the 8th. And Reed will come out. And I would normally not do this because unless, if it was a season game, but since it's a one-off game, we'll bring in their closer, Barojas, or one of their closing type pitchers. He had 2 saves. He was our closer in 83. I guess in 84 he wasn't. But he's going to come in now. And he is the 5th pitcher to be used by the White Sox. And he's got a tall task facing Lopes. 2 homers, a single, and a walk. 2-2, blank for a righty. 5-5, single to right. So Lopes does it again. Here's Kingman. 3-4 against Barojas. Blank. So we go to Kingman. 6-3, fly to center. 1 away. Brings up Carney Lansford. 4-6, strikeout chance. Only a 7 though, so not going to strike out on that 13. 3-3, star line 5, fly to left. 2 down. For Bruce Bachby. 6-4. 6-4 is a ballpark card, so we go back to Oakland Coliseum. Roll a 5-6. It's a fly to right. And so Barojas pitches a scoreless 8th. We go to the 9th, and this game mercifully is almost over. 1 more half inning to go. We're already at an hour mark. So obviously this is taking much longer than usual, but when you put up 14 runs, that's going to happen. So the A's, and again, this would not happen in real life, but since it's a one-off game, we're going to bring in the inspector, Bill Caudle, their closer. See if we can't finish this thing in quick fashion. Bill Caudle. And obviously in the regular season game, I would not do this because you don't want to waste a closer on a game like this. But since it's a one-off, we'll go ahead and do it. Here's Baines, 6-6, and that's a walk plus. Baines is a 9, plus 3 is a 12, plus 10 is a 22, so that's a walk. Baines will walk, so maybe Caudle isn't the quick answer. Kittle, 5-6, and that is a double question mark, and that's a 14. So against a right-hander, you would need if it was a right-hander, a 1 through 4 would be a star line, but since it's a 14, we just skip it. Go to Kittle, 5-6, and that's a star line 3, which is a ground ball to second, possible double play. He's a 2, but Caudle's a -1. So that makes it a 1, and there is no pivot for anybody. They got zeros out there. That's a 3, so the runner on first, Baines is a 2, so his BR is not greater, so it will be a fielder's choice. And the fielder's choice, 4-6. 1 away for Greg Walker. 6-6, another walk plus. Would be a 6. Makes it a 9, plus 10 is a 19, but that's a 20, so no walk. 3-4, ground ball to short. Chance for another double play, possibly. Again, though, it's a 2 and a minus, it's only a 1 for a double play. And that's a 5, so that's not going to happen. And since Kittle's BR is not greater than 5, it's another fielder's choice. So once again, another fielder's choice. And I think that went to third this time. I forgot where it went. Not that it matters. It's late in the game. Here is Vance Law. Last chance. 3-4. Strikeout chance. Law is a 10, but the stadium's a -2, makes it an 8. That's a 10, so no strikeout. Here's Law. 2-3 for Law. Star line 6. It's going to be a fly to right. Mike Davis corrals it. And this game is mercifully over. How about that? I'm not going to go to the totals because it's been so long so far anyway. I'll just say the A's win it by the score of 11-3. So after falling behind 2-0 in the top of the first, they outscore the Sox 11-1 the rest of the way. Winning pitcher was Steve McCatty, and the loser was Bannister. Player of the game, Davey Lopes, 2 home runs, 2 singles, and a walk. Scored 3 runs, drove in 5. So, kudos. Actually drove in 6, I do believe. So, he definitely was the player of the game. So that's inside pitch, a rough version of it, because again, when you get pitching that bad, you're going to get lots of runs. It's going to take lots of time, lots of checks. If you get 2 studs out there pitching, probably play the game in less than a half an hour with very little checks. Most things will come off the pitcher card. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and I said if I do decide to put this in as a premiere, then hopefully you've had plenty of time to chat, and over an hour to chat. Hopefully you've done so and enjoyed conversing with each other, because the game obviously didn't lend itself to be watched, unless you're Ron that wanted to see Steve Christmas, and you got to see that, Ron. So hopefully that made your day. Maybe not, but anyway, that's going to do it from here. Inside pitch. And until next time, we'll see you all down the road.